the most hurtful lie your kid has ever been taught as fact in school? My 9-year-old son Milo came home from 3rd grade gifted class last spring slumping into the house and saying he'd never be good at math. When I asked why, he held up his left hand, tears in his eyes, and said, Ms. Bennett told us left-handed people are more creative and right-handed people are more logical. I'm left-handed, so I'll never be good at math or science. She said it's brain science. My heart broke. I'm a pediatric speech-language pathologist with 11 years of experience. I specialize in childhood brain development, and I know this myth has been thoroughly debunked by every major psychological and neurological organization in the world. I sat Milo down and explained that handedness has zero correlation with creativity or logic. Your dominant hand doesn't dictate how your brain works. I showed him studies from the American Psychological Association that prove there's no link between handedness and cognitive traits. Milo shook his head, defeated. But Ms. Bennett has been teaching the gifted program for 19 years. She showed us a whole slideshow about it. She said it's why left-handed kids are better at art. Next morning, I sent Ms. Bennett an email, asking if I could visit her second period gifted class that afternoon for a 15-minute presentation about childhood brain development, framed as a career talk. She wrote back right away, thrilled to have a pediatric specialist visit. When I walked in, the classroom was covered in kids' art and gifted program posters, kids sitting at desks covered in glittery notebooks and colored pencils. Ms. Bennett introduced me as Milo's mom, a pediatric brain development specialist, and the class leaned in, curious. I opened with, I heard you guys learned that left-handed people are more creative and right-handed people are more logical. The whole class nodded, serious. Ms. Bennett smiled proudly from the front. I pulled up peer-reviewed studies on my tablet, projected them on the whiteboard, studies from the APA and the Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience, tracking over 100,000 kids, and finding zero correlation between handedness and creativity, logic, or academic ability. Your dominant hand is determined by genetics and fetal development, not by which side of your brain you use more. Left-handed kids can be math geniuses. Right-handed kids can be world-class artists. There's no rule. I even pulled up the current Arizona State Gifted Education Standards, which explicitly warn against using handedness to label a child's cognitive strengths or weaknesses. Ms. Bennett's smile faded fast. She started clearing her throat loud every few seconds. A left-handed girl in the back raised her hand. So I'm not bad at math just because I'm left-handed. The class burst into whispers, kids looking at each other's hands. Ms. Bennett stood up, voice tight. Thank you for that very interesting presentation, but we need to move on to our creative writing lesson now. She cornered me in the hallway after, voice shaking with rage. How dare you come in here and undermine my authority in front of my students? I've spent years building trust with these kids and you just made them question everything I say. I kept my voice level, but my eyes were stinging. You broke my son's confidence because of a lie. You told a 9-year-old boy he'll never be good at math because he's left-handed. That's not teaching gifted kids, that's limiting them. I didn't undermine you. You undermined yourself by labeling kids based on a debunked myth, she snapped. I've been teaching this for 19 years. I'm not changing my curriculum because some therapist thinks she knows better. That night, Milo came home crying. Ms. Bennett had given them a pop quiz that afternoon, and one of the questions was true or false. Left-handed people are naturally more creative than right-handed people. Milo marked it false and got it marked wrong. A big red D scrolled across his paper. I scheduled a meeting with the principal and the district gifted education coordinator the next day, bringing printouts of the APA studies, state standards, the 2003 textbook's publication date, and Milo's quiz. The principal listened carefully, then called Ms. Bennett in. When confronted with the evidence, she huffed, "This is how I've always taught it. It helps kids embrace their strengths." I lost it. "My son is scared to raise his hand in math class because of your strengths lesson." "That's not helping, that's harming." 2 weeks later, the school removed the outdated materials from the gifted program. Ms. Bennett was required to attend a workshop on neurodiversity in gifted education. On Milo's next report card, Ms. Bennett wrote exceptional critical thinking skills, but at parent-teacher conferences she wouldn't meet my eye. When I signed up to help with the school's STEM night, I noticed my name had been crossed off the list. Now every time Milo learns a new fact about his brain at school, he turns to me and says, "Mom, is this real or is this just a Ms. Bennett fact?"